All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, Taurus. I just wanted to cleanse your space a little bit before I went ahead and jumped on in. I hope you've been doing well. Welcome to your January 2021 reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, that is going to be listed in the description box below, as well as my other social medias. I do have a Patreon account, which is where the extended version of this reading will be located. All of that information is going to be down below, as well as if you would like to donate to the channel in any way, those links are going to be down there too. So everything that you could possibly need will be listed down below in the description box. Okay, so Taurus, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm really excited just to, tap into your energy because for anyone that's watched a previous Taurus reading, my Venus is in Taurus. I'm sorry, this is a little bit jumbled here. But so I always get excited whenever I see Taurus pop up because while I've personally never, like my whole life, I knew about astrology. So I've always just, resonated with my sun sign. And even when I did my birth chart, I never really thought about my Venus placement. And so it just was about maybe a year or so ago when I really started paying attention to Venus readings. Wow. Anyways, double shuffle, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so I've always been, ever since I kind of started to really understand how prominent of a placement Taurus and Venus is, because the ruling planet of Taurus is Venus, as well as Libra too, I believe. So I always love getting these messages for you guys because I know there's something in there for me too. And as I say that, I just love it because I've been seeing numbers 1 and 3, and maybe you guys have too, but I've been seeing 1s and 3s the last 2 days pretty prominently. So it says divine discernment. Step back to find clarity. Okay, so let's prop this up. Yeah, this is all about just, really taking time to sit with the divinity within you, the divinity all around you, really taking some, me time to be able to just be able to interpret your circumstances, your situation, just your life from a more heightened perspective. It's not because so sometimes when, things aren't going exactly the way we want them to, it just doesn't really feel that great, and we question a lot because we're like, well, why? You know what I mean? Why? If God is so loving, if Spirit is so loving, if, God always has our back, the universe always has our back, however you want to word it. If that's true, then why do I continue to face, adversity in my life? Why? And a lot of people get caught up on the fact that they think when they become a spiritual person or there's more in spiritual alignment, I think a lot of the misconception there is that people think that their problems are just going to go away. And, it doesn't matter how spiritually aligned you are. Everyone has valleys and everyone has peaks in their life. There's really no way of getting around that. But what having a more spiritually aligned mindset does for you during those times, during those valleys that you experience in life, it just helps you stabilize your energy body. And it helps you to where, even though, yes, there's an equalizing energy here at play, because, there's lightness, there's light and there's dark. And that's the ultimate balance that has to play out. You cannot have one without the other. So sometimes when we actually start looking at maybe things, experiences, emotions, just circumstances that don't necessarily feel the best and they feel more like a valley than anything in our lives, well, if we take a step back and actually look at, okay, well, what is this teaching me in my life? How is this forcing me to get real? How is this uncomfortableness? How is this trying to stretch me in my mindset? How is this trying to force me to grow? And so that's what happens when you're more spiritually aligned. You start looking at situations from less of a victim standpoint, and you look at it was more of okay, well, how is this circumstance, problem, challenge, obstacle uncomfortableness? How is this supposed to force me to up level in some way? How could this, if I could stretch my mind enough to where I could see the good, the silver lining in this cloud, what would it be? You know what I mean? Sorry guys, I'm getting a phone call. I just updated. I am like super impressed. I just updated my phone not too long ago, and the version beforehand, if someone were to have tried to call me, it would have completely stopped the video. Now it just pops up as like a little like banner thing, like a little notification, and I can just, I love that. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm sitting here like, woo! Win for Colby. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. But anywho, so this is, and also, and just to kind of reiterate this whole point here, it's funny because for a little bit of time, I was having a really rough time, or like uploading videos to YouTube was taking forever. And then I realized, oh, I need to upgrade my phone. And as much of much of a pain in the ass, excuse me, as that was, I realize now, I was like, oh wow, like that's kind of nice. Like now I don't even have to worry about that because because it wasn't allowed. So what I thought was like a burden, because I was like, man, I gotta go, connect to internet, and because I'm pretty minimalist. I have a hotspot on my phone. If I don't need internet, I ain't gonna pay for it. So, but when it comes down to, I guess, your phone and being able to upgrade it, you need that. Anyways, so I thought of it as more of a burden than anything, but it's fine. I just went over to my friend's house and I just did it there. Not a big deal. And it's funny because at first I was like, ugh, of course, just another thing that I have to do, where life's gonna work out for me. But now I'm sitting here and I'm like really grateful that I did that upgrade, because as much of a pain in the ass as it was to do that day, before I could continue uploading videos, there's benefit on the other side of, working through that obstacle, seeing how it forced me to grow, seeing how it benefited me, even in like that, that little level of frustration that I felt, like there was good in it. You know what I mean? So there's always a reason for the season. And when we start looking at life that way, I think it becomes a lot less burdensome. So, divine discernment. Step back to find clarity. This quote is by Ernest Holmes. To the one who can perfectly, oh my God, I cannot, I've literally been trying, I feel like I keep mispronouncing words, and it's really frustrating. I don't know what kind of energy, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, this quote is by Ernest Holmes. It says, to the one who can perfectly practice in action, all things are possible. Message. Take a breather and honor your yin, which is feminine nature. This is not always so easy to do in a culture that honors and celebrates the yang, which is drive/strive mode, while turning up its nose at the virtues of the yin qualities of flow and letting go. In yang mode, we get things done. In yin mode, we fill our tank and reflect on our larger vision and purpose. So when it is time to move, we do so with precision. If we are to live in balance, we need both action and reflection. I love how balance is coming up in this. There are times to do and times for inaction. To know which mode is most appropriate, step back and practice discernment. Dream symbol, observer. Dreams where you are the observer, as opposed to being on the field of play, can signify that you are watching your life from afar, gaining an objective perspective and considering the larger ramifications of your actions/reactions. You may have felt aloof on the roof. If that resonates, it may be time for you to risk taking a more active role in your life. However, if that isn't the case, this dream may be revealing a strategy for how to access greater wisdom and mindfulness by stepping back, watching the parade roll by, so you can join in with gusto when the time is right. Divine discernment, yeah, divine timing and everything, y'all. And this is why I love general readings, but I also get a little frustrated by them, because this could be over a relationship, a career path, just something in your personal life in general, who you are as an individual. This could apply to so many different people. And that's why I love it. Okay, so it says mantra. Divine discernment lets me know when to go, when to stop, and once you drop into the space in between. And this is definitely talking about meditation. Like there's like, kind of like it was saying, like there's a time where you need to sit back and you need to look at your life, look at your circumstances, look at whatever is playing out in front of you, look at it from a calmer perspective through meditation, take a step back, be able to really like slow your brain down, slow your perspective down, and really allow yourself to look at the situation from almost like a third party's perspective. Because when you're so caught up in the, like if you're the type of person that just, you wake up in the mornings and you're just like feet hit the, like you hit the ground running kind of thing, you know, I get it. Like being a go-getter, getting your shit done, handling life, being a boss, I get it. It's an empowering feeling. But you are headed straight for burnout if you don't practice this balance of energy at play. If you're constantly, and say this, maybe you're just the type that you just feel like you can't slow down because life is calling you, or you feel like life is just like rushing you, urging you, pressing you to act. And you feel guilty when it comes to taking time for yourself and realigning your energy body. Because here's how it goes. Here's what happens. When you continue to live life from a stressed out energy space, from a, like I don't have any time for myself. There's no way I could, have any kind of time in my day for self-care. Oh God, no, I don't have time for that. Like I gotta make money, boo. Like I gotta get shit done, boo. Like what are you talking about? Well, when you stay in that energy of like, you're almost in fear mode of like slowing down because you're fearful of like an adverse consequence coming from that. And I'm not saying be a lazy asshole. Like I'm not saying that whatsoever, but I'm saying like, you have to have balance between the yin and the yang. The force of us, the force that flows through us and wants us to sit with ourselves and be more in tune with our intuition and our dream-like state of mind, really like, more connected with the divine kind of thing. You have to have that time alongside that. So you have to have your yin as well as your yang. So your yang is like, of course, doing the things you need to do, having responsibilities, like getting shit done in this world. I understand, but there has to be this balance. Or when you stay in that fearful state of mind where you feel like you can't have time at all just to sit and like feel and work through your emotions, work through your trauma, work through your energy, whatever you want to call it, when you don't allow yourself that, you are perpetuating an agenda towards your own life. Like you're literally saying, you're perpetuating an energy saying, I don't have time to sit with myself because I am too broke on money, time, resources, what the fuck ever. Like maybe you were raised to believe that that's some hippy dippy thing, like that no, you like money don't grow on trees, you gotta go out and you gotta, work 50 to 60 plus hours, like whatever, like go, that fear-based mentality, and that limits you so much when it comes to experiencing the joys in life and really feeling the good emotional qualities that, your experience can offer you. I mean, like, we're so go, and we're never giving ourselves time to sit with God, sit with the universe, sit with the divine. That is such an empty experience. That is an experience just, for me, I feel like it's just a huge void in people's lives. Like maybe like even if you are an atheist and you don't like really believe in God or whatever, like you gotta know that you have a higher perspective. You gotta know that like you have intuition, even if you don't believe in like a higher power or whatever. You have to believe in the power of your own energy body. I mean, like I don't know. I couldn't personally be an atheist, but I mean I can see how you could still implement this information even if you are, like, even if you just want to believe that it's just you, what I mean, and there's no higher power, like, you have to understand that you have an ego and a higher self, regardless of if God is in the picture or not. Like, I can't personally take God out of my life, but, I know other people that don't, or that do, or that don't, whatever. And so I just, like I have mentioned in other videos, I like for these messages to be as relatable as possible. You know what I mean? So, all right. So we've pulled your journey, your hero's journey card. And now we're going to get into your animal spirit. So the Animal Spirit is the last deck that I will pull in the YouTube version. If this message has resonated with you, please give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if this has resonated, this is just the YouTube version. There's going to be an extended link down below. The Patreon deal that I have is that you, for $5 a month, you get access to all 12 extended readings. So if you have friends, family that you see a message for, and you're like, oh, I really think that they would benefit from this, go ahead, share it with them. You know what I mean? Like, that $5, you can change your life and another person's. So, and there's no contract involved. So if you don't want to have to like be stuck in a month-to-month commitment, you don't have to. So you can do $5 a month, and if you want to go buy you a coffee with that $5 next month, you go right on ahead, boo. You do your thing. All right, so we got the black egg, and then we also have the fox. So I'm gonna read the black egg and the fox, and then we're gonna wrap this shit up. All right, so the black egg is a card of spirit, and I believe the black egg talks about throat chakra, like yep, okay. And then the wolf card is about family, so we're gonna see how that plays out. But the black egg says this. It says, speaking from an authentic voice, the truth. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in. The concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. This is all about meditation, you guys. It is available at every moment, in every situation. It is the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. It says the black egg in the 5th chakra. The subtle essence of this card resides at the base of the throat chakra. The ancient sages saw the center as the hub that governs our speech and expression. Visuddha, which is this word right here, and that's the throat chakra just in Hindu, translates as especially pure. The balance of the center is important for all of us, but it is especially essential for writers, editors, musicians, and teachers. Yeah, because I'm telling you guys, I feel like the messages for like meditation just continue with every zodiac, because it's like, I don't think a lot of people really see how powerful meditation is. Like, especially, oh my God, 2020 and 2021 have been such shit shows, guys. Like, let's be real. We need to reconnect with the divinity within us, because we have been so caught up in the physical, in the 3D, in the ego, with politics, with COVID, with all this shit. There has been such huge division amongst the masses, and now we have to take a step back and be like, okay, like, we have to remember that we are a tribe here. We are one, okay? And that's what I'm getting off the wolf card. And believe me, I'm resonating with this message just as much as I hope y'all are. So the wolf card is definitely about family, your tribe, like the people you care about. So it is a pinnacle energy. So let's see. Okay. It says guardian of family and tribe. Wait, didn't that say guardian of something? The black egg? Or am I just completely... Okay, never mind. It says guardian of family and tribe, activism, ritual. Yes, ritual girl. You better get that meditation up in that ritual girl, even if you ain't a girl, boy. Like, what? All right, so it says the wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, and humanitarian efforts or teaching. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. When in balance, reliable, democratic, fearless. That's funny considering I was just talking about politics, how the same democratic. Yes, boo. I'm telling you guys, like, this is about us reconnecting to oneness. Like, believe me, you know, like, I'm not going to talk about my political beliefs at all, but, like, I struggled a little bit when it came to hearing other opinions on certain topics that I didn't necessarily agree with. Like, that was really hard for me this election year. And like I said, I'm not even going to get into, like, what my beliefs are, but, you know, if you know me personally, you probably absolutely know, but YouTube, not going to go into it. But it was just such a hard, like, even friends that I've known for so long that were on the opposite side of, you know, how I felt. That's a real humbling experience. Like, this whole entire year it has been, because in last year, 2020, because, you know, tolerance isn't about, like, picking and choosing what you want to be tolerant over. Tolerance is across the board. You can't be tolerant in one thing and then not tolerant or intolerant in another and then call yourself a tolerant person, okay? So for me, even as, like, a spiritual teacher, as an energy coach, this taught me a lot, even about my own self and my own limitations, and, you know what I mean? Like, how we need to not get so caught up in the ego and remember that we are one. And while, yes, you don't have to agree with everything someone else says. You don't. That's your divine right. But to completely just, like, negate them from your experience, negate them as a person, belittle them, you know, whatever, like, kind of just make them lesser than you, that kind of shit is where we can't be, because we are one. And regardless of if someone holds, this is where it gets really tricky, okay? Because if you believe in oneness and that we're all connected through this collective consciousness, and that means when you look at a person and you don't accept them for who they are, that's a piece of you that is unable to accept yourself for who you are. So I know that sounds a little tricky, but, like, if you had full acceptance over who you were, the good, the bad, the ugly, the things that people knew about you, things that people don't know about you, if you were willing to accept all of that about yourself, truly, then you absolutely would not have an issue being able to do that with someone else. And, you know, I'm not saying that everyone deserves to be, for us, we don't need to hold everyone close, you know what I mean? Like, we can love people from an arm's length away, but do we like hold, like, hatred in our heart towards them? Do we hold adverse energy at all in our heart towards them? No, we really shouldn't. Like, no, do you have to be best friends with that individual? Absolutely not. But when you understand oneness, you understand that, like, even you not accepting someone to be a very, like, potent, like, energy in your life, if you, like, just kind of decide you want to distance yourself from them, make sure that that's not, like, out of hatred. It's out of just, like, hey, like, I just, you know, I love you and I want for both of us to be happy, and I'm just not seeing that our relationship is making either one of us happy. And so you're making a choice out of love versus hate. You know what I mean? Like, there's a very, like, when you don't want to be around a certain person or a certain energy or a certain type of lifestyle or whatever, it's not that you should judge it and put it below you. It's just accepting that you're different, right? It's just accepting. That's it. Like, nobody's better than one another. It doesn't matter where you are in life. Nobody is better than one another. So I think that 2020 and 2021 has created so much division in our lives, and I get that. Believe me, I struggle with this so much. Just the state the world's in, just how much I get it. Like, you know, the media has really, there's just been so much back and forth energy, and it's like, it's been a really funky energy that we've had to work through since, you know, I mean, Jesus, this has been going on for... Anyways, my point is that we can't forget to stop loving one another, even if that's from afar. Just don't wish people ill, you know what I mean? Like, because that karmically is going to come back to you. Even if you're like, even if you think someone is a dumb ass motherfucker, like, you don't say that. You accept the fact that you just think differently, and you don't condemn them, even though you are absolutely, like, even if you're like, how do you think like this? How could you possibly think like this? Those are the moments that are going to test how tolerant you actually are, okay? How loving of an individual you actually are. Believe me, I have fallen short a lot this past year, these past two, since 2020 began. I have fallen short so much, and I'm willing to accept that part of myself, because that's the only way I can truly grow, is to accept that we are imperfect. As a wholesome collective, we are imperfect, and we have to love one another for those imperfections. Do we have to let people in our lives to be these immediate, influences? No, we don't. But do we hold compassion for things that we don't understand? Yes. That is absolutely what we do. That's the only way we can handle these situations. We do not judge and cast off people because we don't understand where they're coming from. We just choose to, it's almost like this agreeing to disagree. And then we keep going about our lives. And if you want to heavily, and that's the thing, you can talk all this talk, but until someone walks the walk, well, you can have your opinions all day long, but I don't care, because you're not doing shit to back up the stuff. So why are we even arguing over this? It's just words. You know what I mean? And I think that's been a lot of what 2020 and 2021 has been. Just a lot of arguing, a lot of debating, a lot of, I think this way, I think that way. And it's like, get the fuck out of here with that. We need to come back to our heart space. Yes, I get it. You cannot avoid reality. You can't be all up in this woo-woo, spiritual, hippy-dippy state of mind all the time. I get it. But when you're in the 3D, that's the thing. You take the 3D and you take the 5D, and you learn how to combine the two. It's kind of like learning to use your logic and your emotion and utilize both of these parts of yourself when you make decisions. You don't just, you know what I mean? It's just taking two polarizing energies and understanding how to bring them together to make a more whole and unified experience, okay? And so that's kind of where we are, I think, Taurus. I think that's where we are. All right, well, I'm going to continue this reading over on Patreon. I love you guys so much. I hope to see you over there. Again, the link is down below. And if this is where we part ways, I still love you, and I'll see you in February. But for the people that are going over to Patreon, let's get it. Bye, Taurus.